Welcome to CARICOMP Insider, where high-tech facial recognition meets real-world intelligence.
A company renews a work visa for an employee it already sponsors. Same worker, same job, nothing's changed. And now that renewal costs $4,000 more than it did last month. No warning, no grace period. Just a new bill on a form people thought they already understood. If you or someone you love is here on a work visa, an H-1B, an L-1, this story reaches right into your kitchen. And if you run a company that sponsors those workers, it reaches into your budget. The Department of Homeland Security finalized a rule. It published August 10, 2026. Starting September 9, 2026, that $4,000 biometric fee no longer applies just to new petitions. Now it hits routine renewals too. So how does a fee people already knew about suddenly land on thousands of people who never paid it before? Let's start with what actually changed. Before this rule, that fee showed up in specific moments. A worker switched employers. A worker got approved for the first time. Those were the trigger points. Now the fee follows the extension. So a worker who stays put, same company, same role, just renewing their status, triggers the charge anyway. For an employer, that turns a one-time cost into a recurring one. Every renewal cycle, the meter runs again. Who pays? Not everyone. The rule targets larger employers, companies with at least 50 U.S. workers, where more than half hold these visa types. That's a narrow group. Think big tech firms and large outsourcing companies. Smaller employers slip right past it. So the burden concentrates on a specific tier, the one sponsoring workers at scale. For a family whose paperwork sits inside one of those companies, it means your employer just got a new reason to think twice about the cost of keeping you. Now, the timing. There's no grandfather clause, no cushion for companies already mid-budget. Any extension petition filed on or after that September date pays the new fee, full stop. Employers who planned their year around old numbers just watch those numbers move. And this one fee is a single tile in a much bigger picture. According to broader DHS proposals, more than 1 million additional people each year could be required to hand over biometrics. The estimated direct cost of that expansion? Roughly $230 million over the next decade. Civil liberties groups warn that means lifelong tracking of immigrants and their sponsors, with thin limits on how long the data's kept or who it gets shared with. For anyone whose face and voice enter that system, the question isn't just what it costs today, it's how long it stays on file. Here's the part that reframes everything. DHS didn't invent a new fee. It didn't build new technology. It simply reinterpreted who the old fee applies to. The agency says Congress always meant for it to cover extensions. Maybe, but that's an agency reading ambiguous language, not lawmakers voting on a change. The expansion of biometric identity in this country isn't arriving through big new laws. It's arriving quietly, through fee schedules and fresh interpretations of old rules. So here's the whole thing in plain terms. The government widened an existing $4,000 fee to cover regular visa renewals for large employers. It gave no warning and no grace period, and it did it by reinterpreting old rules, not passing new ones. The lesson underneath it all: the price of proving who you are keeps creeping into paperwork you thought was settled. Whether you sponsor workers or you're the worker being sponsored, the cost of your own identity just went up while nobody was looking. The full story's in the description if you want the deep dive.
Now you know something most people in this industry don't. Use it. And when you're ready to put it to work, caracomp.com. We'll see you tomorrow.